I'm good.
Thanks a lot for staying with CNN News 18. I'm Shivani Gupta, and the big update coming in, another thriller in the ongoing World Cup, and in the rain-curtailed match, India has beaten Bangladesh by 5 runs to all but confirm their semi-final spot. Remember, it did come down right down to the wire in this match as well. But the rain break in this match ended up helping the Indian side, which was bowling at that time, and broke the rhythm of the Bangladeshi batsmen. Because chasing 185, Bangladesh actually started strongly, in fact as strongly as a team could hope to, with Najmal Shato and Liton Das putting up 66 runs on the board at the end of 7 overs with no wicket loss. That's when the rain came down. Bangladesh were then given a revised target of 151 in 16 overs, which meant they had to make 85 in the remaining 9. The break worked in India's favour because this time around they struck early. An outstanding throw from KL Rahul sent the in-form and the more dangerous Liton Das packing. Shanto followed soon and Shakib's team then looked in big danger. What followed was a collapse as the pressure mounted on the Bangladeshi batsmen, with Bangladesh going from 99 for 2 to 108 for 6. In the end, they could only score 145 and lost. So that obviously almost puts paid on their semi-final hopes, but does the exact opposite for India. A quick revision of what the Indian innings was like. Captain Rohit Sharma faltered once again when he tried to hit an uppercut of Hassan Mahmood in the batting innings. KL Rahul, though, finally got some runs under his bat. And how? He hit the Bangladeshi bowlers all over the park for his half-century in 32 balls before being caught by Mustafizur. Surya Kumar Yadav then scored a quick-fire 31 of 16 before getting out to a beauty from Shakib. Next, Hardik Pandya was caught by Yasir Ali, while Karthik, his woes continued as his dry spell with the bats continues. Once again, it was ViratKohli who led the team from the front, scoring 64 of 44, hitting 8 boundaries and a 6. The former India captain is now the highest run scorer, remember, in T20 World Cups with 3 half-centuries to his name. India put a pretty challenging total of 184. But yes, for a while, when Bangladesh had first started their batting, it looked like 184 was not going to be enough. So what does this do as far as the points table is concerned? Let's just bring that for our viewers. Remember, this match was make or break for both sides, India and Bangladesh. Now, of course, India is clear of Bangladesh. They were ahead of Bangladesh only by net run rate. They're now clear of Bangladesh. There is, of course, one match to go for both Bangladesh and India. But with the net run rate being the difference that it is between these two sides, I'm not sure if India is going to be in any more danger from here on. Let me also bring in Maninder Singh, former India cricketer, with me. Maninder, do you think, looking at the points table, now it's as good as done?
I think India is in a good space, unless and until Bangladesh beat Pakistan with a big margin, which is not, which looks highly unlikely because, the Pakistanis would like to go out on a winning note as well. I mean, they've got 2 games, so they still have a chance. So I don't see any trouble for Indians, but I think they should still keep playing as if they're playing a knockout match, and the next match, that is against Zimbabwe, they can't get complacent about it. But yes, with this win, I think the confidence level also must go very high because, at one stage it was looking like Bangladesh is running away with this game. But as you said, in your introduction, that the rains spoilt it for Bangladesh. Yeah. I think the rhythm they were in got broken.
Yeah, if we just keep that table on screen for our viewers, I just want to talk about what the possibilities are. But, this is why this win is so important for India to get this under their belt. And clearly the kind of passion and the kind of focus the Indian team brought in after the rain break was reflecting of the fact that they know that this is make or break for them. So if you look at that points table, India is ahead of South Africa now with 6 points, but South Africa has 2 games in hand. So let's say South Africa win both of their last 2. That takes them to 9. India, let's say that India loses their next match to Zimbabwe. Bangladesh wins its last match. So they both come on 6. But if you look at that net run rate difference between the two, it is pretty high, which is why I say that even if there was a hiccup for India anymore, I don't think it's going to affect their chances. South Africa, of course, will also feel like they're virtually through. Let's talk about the performance today. Maninder Paji, DeepDasgupta is also joining us. Let me take that question to him. Deep, it almost looked like we were not going to get through the line today. I mean, I don't know what is with this World Cup. It is happening in virtually every match. Kudos to the Bangladeshi openers, especially Liton Das. He was as dangerous as a batsman can look, especially with that total on board, and commiserations to them. But, you know, we did bounce back very well after that rain break.
I think generally, I mean, rain breaks help the batting sides more, but I mean, this time around, it was a different story altogether because it actually helped India, like you mentioned before. There was obviously, you know, suddenly there was a momentum shift. Litton he looked so brilliant initially. And listen, they were, what, 15, 17 runs ahead when the game stopped as far as DLS was concerned. And from there on, it was nothing but, you know, complete panic. I think the turning point was KL Rahul's run out. I mean, that run out of Liton Das, that was absolutely brilliant from the outfield. And from there on, it was nothing but panic because they were still needed with, 9 wickets in hand. They needed to go at 10 runs and over for 6 overs or 7 overs. That wasn't tough, but it's just that they panicked and we didn't. I mean, it was as simple as that. India kept their nerves, Bangladesh didn't, and it was a complete. I mean, this is another very close shift. This is so close to that 2016 encounter quarterfinals with Bangladesh. But yeah, I mean, it's good that you win games as close as that. It just strengthens you more in terms of psychologically as well as you know, otherwise cricket wise as well.
Yeah, you know, I'm just wondering, Manipaji, where do you think that pressure came on the Bangladeshi batsmen when the revised total was given? It's not that it was very bad. I think it was fair to them given that they had all 10 wickets in hand. And generally the belief is, and most people were suggesting that, you know, this is not going to be that hard for them given that their batsmen had their eye in and the fact that they have all 10 wickets in hand. But I think the shorter the duration, it actually puts more pressure on you, isn't it? Because the wickets become less crucial and less valuable. It is the strike rate and the run rate that becomes more crucial.
You know, sometimes I really feel that in a rain-curtailed game, when you're chasing the match and when you're in the middle of the match, like today, you know, if you see, the target given to them was 151, almost 10 runs and over when they were going to come back to bat. You know, 4 overs were shortened, only 34 runs taken away. So that kind of sometimes puts pressure on you. Why? Because, you know, we've been saying 10 wickets in hand, it should have been easy for them. I think when you've got 10 wickets in hand, you think that you have to hit every ball. But I think you had to have a partnership. If you could thought, first 3 overs, 24 runs, 8 runs and over, probably then it could have been easier for them. You know, it would have given the batsmen some more time to settle in again because, you know, once you're in a rhythm, that the kind of rhythm Liton Das was in, that rhythm got broken. So he had to get that rhythm back, you know, because in the first 6 overs, he had that advantage of the power play. But when he had come back to bat again, he should have taken some more time. But probably that run out from KL Rahul, I think was the turning point of this game. And I don't know why I feel when you have to chase 10 and over and you don't get 10 and over, you know, because it's only, say, 7 or 8 overs to bat, then the, you know, required run rate, it keeps mounting on you because it keeps going up. In one over, if that over goes for 6 runs, that runs per over keeps going up and that pressure builds up on the batting side.
Before this match, we were talking about how India's fielding has left much to be desired, including the fact that I think before this match, Deep, they hadn't had a single run out despite chances. And today, KL Rahul's run out was as good as it gets. And it was a turning point indeed, because as long as Liton Das was to stay there, the equation would have looked much more difficult for India.
Absolutely, no two ways about it. That was the turning point because Liton, the fact that the way he was batting, it just made batting look so easy. And it seemed like in the second half, the pitch started playing a lot better for the batters. That's one thing. And also got to give credit to the bowlers because while, yes, the batting unit, Bangladesh needed 10 and over for 6 overs, the ball was wet as well. The outfield was quite wet. So obviously the ball was wet as well. So, I mean, got to give credit to the Indian bowlers to have actually bowled with that wet ball and bowled so disciplined. I mean, if you look at the extras, actually, you'll get a fairly decent idea how disciplined the Indian bowlers were with that wet ball. And Mani Bhaiya will tell you, it's not the easiest thing to do. I mean, bowl with that wet white ball.
Maninder Paji?
Yeah, it slips out of your hand, you know, when this white Kookaburra ball, because the seam doesn't stay for too long on this ball, and it becomes like a soap in your hand. So it's not very easy for the bowlers, especially for the spinners, and even for the seam bowlers, because you're not going to get that swing or seam. So you have to depend on your slower deliveries, and when you're trying to bowl those slower deliveries, the ball could slip out of your hand. Bowling the Yorkers, the ball could slip out of your hands. But credit to the Indian bowlers, they really did well, and credit to Indian captain actually, he kept his cool. Because sometimes when you're not getting runs, you're leading your side, you're not getting runs, it plays on your mind, but I think it's not affecting Rohit at all. He handled them pretty well. And, the kind of confidence he's got in Arshdeep, he was bowling the last over. He made him bowl all the 4 overs because only one bowler could bowl 4 overs. Before the rain, he had only bowled 1 over. So can you imagine the confidence he's got in Arshdeep? And I think he's a hero. I mean, he might get hit in the next couple of games for some runs, but he gets you wickets, important wickets.
And especially at the death, he's turning out to be so good for us.
Exactly, because he bowls Yorkers at will. Which we've spoken about before, that it shows that he's really worked hard, because when he started playing IPL, he did look a little raw, but I think he's bowled a lot of overs in the nets. And, that confidence you carry, that character that you make, build in the nets, you carry it in the match. So this kid has really worked hard, and the best thing I see about him is when he releases the ball, you don't know whether he's going to move the ball away from the right-hander or bring the ball in. For the left-handers also, he does the same thing. You can't really judge from his wrist movement what is he going to do. And then bowling those Yorkers, those slower ones at will and at the right length. I think it's amazing. I think we are seeing a hero building up. I hope that we handle him well, because he could serve the country for a long time.
Absolutely. I think given his age, the only question that comes to your mind is whether Arshdeep can be protected in some senses and, managed well. That's the biggest thing that India needs to do, because a bowler like him doesn't really come for us often. It's only one after the other. We don't really tend to have many of them at the same time. But this is, of course, as we've been saying over the last couple of years, one of the best times for India pacers. All right, we're opening up the phone lines for our viewers as well. Our experts are going to be with us. There's a simple question we are asking. Are Rohit Sharma's men on track to win the T20 World Cup this time around? You can call us and share your views. You can also pose your questions to our experts at the number flashing on your screen. On that note, let me also talk about the player of the match that has been adjudged to be ViratKohli. Not surprising. A 64 of 44 not out. I mean, what is with ViratKohli and not outs, DeepDasgupta? I mean, this man just continues to do this, and he's having a brilliant World Cup, which can only be good news for us.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely, yes. And also the timing. Initially, when KL was hitting the ball all over the park, he was just hanging in there. He's happy. That's the best part about him. He's happy to play the second fiddle here. When the other one's going after the bowling, when Surya came in, he went after the bowling. He quickly realized that all he has to do is hang in there. And also he's realized what MSD used to do. The longer Virat stays out there in the middle, the bowler starts panicking. And he knows that. He realizes that. So the longer he stays out there, even though he's going someone out and run a ball or whatever, but he knows if he's there for the last 5 overs, more than anything else, the bowlers would panic. They will miss their lengths. And then he's in a position to capitalize on that. And this whole, idea or the planning bit of it, it's absolutely brilliant. I think he's, again, got his mental space back where he was with, in 2018-19. I think he's enjoying his game again. He's found that template. He's found that zone. And it's just great news. It's just great news for everyone, all cricket fans, because, when Virat's on song, irrespective which country you follow, you still would want to watch him.
Yeah, absolutely. He has fans all over. Now, with this innings, this is something that was building up from the last match, but in the last match was the one failure that Virat Kohli had against South Africa. Now, with this innings, he's managed to become the highest run getter in T20 World Cups. This is a record that, he was building up towards. He's obviously overtaken Jayawardene. Another feat, another feather, Manipaji in Virat Kohli's cap.
See, he's a kind of a player, once he gets into that rhythm, then he's not going to leave it.
Yeah.
I mean, he's been criticized for the past 2-3 years. He's not got a century. I think that break didn't help him, that break during the pandemic. But, he's somebody you can rely on, that once he starts getting runs, he's not going to let it go because he realizes the importance of it. And look at the passion he's got, when he's batting, that passion on his face, that passion when he's hitting boundaries or sixes or when he's running between the wickets. At this age also, I mean, you can see his fitness level. Running between the wickets is so brilliant, and he makes the partners run as well.
Actually, he is still the fittest guy in the team. I mean, his work ethic and his fitness regime is like on par with most other athletes, not just cricketers.
I think he competes with other athletes, which is very important. And he knows that he's the number one batsman in the world, and he competes with himself as well, because he said it in a couple of interviews that I don't have any other pressures except myself. That the expectations about anybody else, if they have from him, but the expectations he has from himself. And till you have that feeling when you're expecting things from yourself, only then can you do what Virat Kohli has just done. And it was a matter of time, basically. I was always getting this feeling that once he starts getting in, he's going to prove his critics wrong, because he's a class act. We all know about it. And he's done exactly that. And this is exactly what India need. And I hope he keeps doing it. If we have to win the World Cup, I think he's going to play a very important role.
Yeah. You said something very interesting, that Virat's the number one batsman in the world. Now, even as he came into this World Cup, Deep, maybe there was a question mark or two. And over the last year or so, we've seen how, Babar versus Virat, comparison has been drawn. Do you think this World Cup already so far, Kohli has settled that debate?
Yeah, he's settled quite a few debates, to be honest, over the years. But obviously, I mean, he's one of the GOATs going around. Definitely, he's earned a place. Earned a place for himself in that debate for sure. I'm not just talking about this generation. I'm talking about greatest of all time as far as at least white ballers cricket is concerned. So yeah, I mean that's how great he is. I mean, obviously he's a modern day great. There's no two ways about it. At this point in time, if you want one name on your team sheet across formats, it has to be Virat's. Yes, Babar is very good. Kane has gone down a bit because of his elbow injury. His tennis elbow, I don't think is recovered as yet. Steve Smith in Test match cricket, yes, maybe not the other formats. Joe Root again in Test match cricket, maybe not the other formats. As far as all three formats are concerned, if you have to pick a batter to save your life, it has to be Virat.
Right. That's the table now. He's overtaken Jayawardene, who was still before him, the highest run getter in T20 World Cups. So 1,065 for Virat Kohli now. This is, of course, a list that has, the top four has a list of two Indians, Virat Kohli and Rohit Sharma. Who else but these two geniuses on board? Baswaraju is calling us from Chennai. Baswaraju, go ahead.
Yeah, I just want to ask, our captain, Indian captain, is not doing well. Why you don't talk about him a lot?
We actually do talk about him a lot. But Baswaraju, since you're talking about it, let's talk about Rohit Sharma. Manipal.
No, Baswaraju, we've spoken about Rohit Sharma. I think, I've been saying that he should stay at the wicket when when the openers come, and they should give the license to KL Rahul. But probably they've decided, team management has decided the other way around, that Rohit is going to go after the bowling, and KL Rahul could take his time to settle down. I think the mistake that the Indian captain is making is that he's trying to hit every ball for a boundary. Now, that's not going to happen, because this is international cricket, and he's playing against a country's team where the best 5 bowlers from that country are going to bowl against him. So I think he's got to be in a positive frame of mind, that when he gets a boundary ball, he should hit it for a boundary, and if he's not getting boundaries, then keeps rotating strikes. I think that's a mistake that he's making, and I'm sure with the the batting coach there and with Rahul Dravid there, things are going to change. Because now we are going to come to the business end of this World Cup, and I am hoping that he starts getting runs, because when the captain starts getting runs, if the team is doing good, they'll start doing really well. And he has to play, he has to get runs, because that will be very important for India if we have to win the World Cup. I just said that Virat Kohli is going to play an important role, but our captain is an impact player. So he's got to get runs and get that confidence before we get into the semi-finals.
The other player we, of course, was talking about a lot was KL Rahul, Rohit Sharma's opening partner. We were talking about how there's so much faith being placed in his ability by the team management. You've had Vikram Rathore earlier and then Rahul Dravid come out and say there's no question over KL Rahul and his position. And it just was a matter of time before KL Rahul was to come good. And for India's chances, he needed to come good. So Deep, finally, it's good to see KL Rahul doing as well as he did today.
Absolutely. And again, going back to his knock today, remember I mentioned about him trying to play score of the wicket a lot more. Today, if you've noticed, first 10 odd deliveries or at least 15 deliveries, he was looking to play with a straighter bat. Even the flick of the hips for a six, it wasn't a horizontal bat shot. So the idea was obviously now he's looking to play a lot straighter, looking to play like his usual self. That's personally my observation, that earlier on he was looking to play score of the wicket.
Okay. Deep, I'm going to come back to you. I think we've got a freeze on your frame, but just hold your thought. I want to go across to Amrit Anand, my colleague from Network 18, also joining us from Adelaide. Amrit, क्या एटमॉस्फेयर है वहाँ पे? ये बिल्कुल पाकिस्तान जैसी जीत समझ रहे हैं क्या वहाँ पे फैंस? क्योंकि बहुत क्रूशल हो गया था एंड में और बहुत क्रूशल था हमारे लिए जीतना.
शिवानी, आप खुद देख सकती हैं कि क्या माहौल यहाँ पर है. कैसा लगा बाजी?
इंडिया बहुत बढ़िया लगा बाजी, बहुत बढ़िया. It was really good match and we win again and भाई अर्शदीप झोटा झोटा खोलता खोलता अर्शदीप झोटा. जिंदाबाद विराट कोहली, जिंदाबाद अर्शदीप, जिंदाबाद. अरे जीतेगा भारत माता की, भारत माता की जय. वंदे मातरम, वंदे मातरम, वंदे मातरम, वंदे मातरम, वंदे
Did you enjoy the match?
Yes, sir. India beautiful. India ने जो खेला आज, अर्शदीप की बॉलिंग, one of the best, beautiful bowling, अर्शदीप. We're gonna see you in Melbourne final. You're gonna love it and you're gonna kill it. India, we're gonna win it.
कैसा लगा मुकाबला आज का?
बहुत बढ़िया लगा. बहुत इंटेंस मैच था. ऐसा लग नहीं रहा था कि काफी टाइम तक की जीत पाएंगे. बट एट द एंड द बॉलिंग, अर्श की बॉलिंग एंड पूरा सपोर्ट बहुत बढ़िया. कुछ उम्मीद नहीं. इंडिया जीत गया.
कौन सा? सारे बैट्समैन बढ़िया खेले. कोहली, केएल राहुल आर द बेस्ट. और विराट कोहली ही किंग है. केएल राहुल भी द बेस्ट था.
शिवानी, आई होप आप सुन पा रही हो मुझे, क्योंकि मुझे आपकी आवाज नहीं आ पा रही.
आनंद, आपकी आवाज बहुत कम आ रही है. बाकी फैंस की तो आवाज ठीक ठाक आ रही है. बट जब रेन आई वहाँ पे तो आपको लग रहा था कि इंडिया के लिए कुछ अच्छा हुआ या बुरा हुआ?
नहीं, बहुत अच्छा हुआ शिवानी. सबने एंजॉय किया, मैंने भी बहुत सारा एंजॉय किया. बाजी मजा आ गया. बाजी हर कोई जश्न मना रहा. लग नहीं रहा कि ये एडिलेड है. शिवानी, हम एंजॉय कर रहे हैं इंडिया की तरक्की की. हर जगह इंडिया इंडिया है, जीतेगा इंडिया का नारा है. फैंस है, एक्साइटेड है शिवानी.
जी जी. नहीं आनंद, लेकिन जब रेन हुई थी एडिलेड में तब डकवर्थ लुइस के हिसाब से बांग्लादेश आगे था. तो उस वक्त फैंस आपको क्या कह रहे थे? चलिए बात करिए.
उसमें सबकी धड़कनें रुकी हुई थी शिवानी, सबकी धड़कनें रुकी हुई थी. लेकिन हर कोई यकीन था कि अच्छा होगा. हमें बस एक विकेट, क्योंकि मैं पता है बांग्लादेश एक बार गिरना शुरू हुआ तो लगातार उसके विकेट फॉल होने शुरू हो जाते हैं. और वो बस रन आउट से शुरू हुआ.
लास्ट ओवर में बहुत प्रेशर होता है जी. अर्शदीप के पास बहुत प्रेशर था, पर टीम इंडिया का बहुत सहयोग रहा. सब भाइयों को बहुत
प्रदर्शन अर्शप्रीत का रहा है. बहुत बढ़िया प्रदर्शन था अर्शप्रीत का. भाई जो विकेट ली उसने, भाई ने बहुत बढ़िया बॉलिंग.
अच्छा, मुझसे एक सवाल पूछा गया इंडिया से. इंडिया सवाल पूछा गया, पावर प्ले से पहले धड़कनें रुकी थी?
बहुत एक बारी डेफिनेटली सर. बहुत अच्छा खेला विराट कोहली ने.
जब तक हमारे पास विराट कोहली और अर्शदीप सिंह है, कभी भी धड़कनें नहीं रुकेगी.
अर्शदीप को जब आपको पता था कि अर्शदीप के साथ कैच उसका गिर गया था, उसको खालिस्तान बोला गया, मतलब गलत बोला गया, लेकिन अर्शदीप ने दिखा दिया बड़े ही
All right.
Arshdeep is a coming, is a legend, guys.
So clearly Adelaide has a lot of Arshdeep fans, and why not? I'm going to take some questions with my guests on Arshdeep as well. Amit, I'm going to come back to you. Enjoy the atmosphere in Adelaide. The expectations also continue to build up from India. Let's take a couple of callers also. Rajesh is calling us from Hyderabad. Please go ahead if you can hear me.
Yeah, Shivani. My question is like, I think team should think about the team combination for the next match. I think DK, Ashwin and Akshay should be dropped. And they should try for Akshar Patel and I would say like Chahal and some like to come with the new batsmen. And after this series, I think Paris Mohammed, I think his bowling coach I don't think he's really doing the right job for this team.
Okay. Despite the bowling doing well, you think the bowling coach is not doing a good job? Anyways, Maninder Paji, please take that question. I think before we talk about Arshdeep and the Indian bowlers and pacers especially doing well, the question over the team makeup, which is the playing 11 and especially the position of Dinesh Karthik.
See, we've been talking about Dinesh Karthik for a long time, but the team management has shown a lot of interest in him. They have a lot of confidence in him. But to be very honest, I was looking at his expressions today on the ground when he came into bat. He's got so much pressure on him. When he was keeping, he dropped a catch as well. He claimed for a catch, which was a one-bounce catch, which goes to show that he's under a lot of pressure. We've been saying, and at least I've been saying, and I've been a great fan of Rishabh Pant, and if Rishabh Pant is in the 15, he should be playing.
But do you think it's too late for India to be drafting Rishabh Pant now, or do you think from the next match versus Zimbabwe, which could be a low pressure situation, they would like to maybe make that change, ease Rishabh Pant in?
Listen, it's never too late. If somebody is not doing well, somebody doesn't have the confidence, you can see it from his body language, we are talking about Dinesh Karthik, then just bring in Rishabh Pant, because it's not that it's going to be his first international game. He's played a lot of international cricket. He's won you a lot of matches, including test matches, because, when he started, when he came into the Indian side, everybody was talking about him that he's only a white ball batsman and wicketkeeper, but look at what he's done in test match cricket as well. He's won you test matches because he's an impact player in any format. So it's never too late to bring in Rishabh Pant, because he is basically a class act, and once he gets going, he's going to serve you for a long time. So for me, I think Rishabh Pant should be playing. I'll keep saying it.
Especially now that DK hasn't really worked well in 4 games, although today one could argue that he got run out, but that's how it goes sometimes, which is why you need to make the most of all the opportunities you get. Let me bring in Raj Shekhar, who's calling us from Belgaum. Raj Shekhar, go ahead. Not sure if Raj Shekhar can hear me. Soumyadeep is also trying to call us from Kolkata. Soumyadeep, go ahead.
Yes, ma'am. My question is, Australian pitches are known for its pacey and bouncy. Why don't they bring on Harshal Patel in place of Akshar Patel?
Okay.
And because Rohit Sharma is not hitting the ball really well, can they do a bit of experiment of bringing Surya Kumar at the top and let Rohit be at number 3?
I don't think the question is so much whether Rohit can bat at number 3. I think they don't want to disturb Virat Kohli and Surya Kumar Yadav. They at 3 and 4 work perfectly well for us, but that's my opinion. Maninder Paji, what do you make of both of these questions?
I completely agree with you. I don't think we need to change the batting order. It's just that we need to change the mindset. And I think the captain needs to change his mindset. I said it earlier also that he's trying to hit every ball for a boundary, which is not going to happen. This is international cricket, and you've got the best of bowlers in your opposition. So be positive, and if you're not getting boundaries, look for ones and twos so that the scoreboard keeps moving. So there is no need to change the batting order, especially the first 4. And what was the second question?
About Harshal Patel. He's in the side.
See, whatever warm-up games he played, he went for plenty. So I don't think the team management has a lot of confidence in him. And then in a certain time, you've got to bowl your 20 overs as well. If you don't, then say if you bowl 2 overs short of the time that you have to bowl your 20 overs, then instead of 4 fielders, you have to have 5 fielders inside the 30-yard circle, which means only 4 outside. So you could go for more runs. So they have to take care of that also, and probably that's why they're playing 2 spinners. And I feel on surfaces that they're playing cricket on in Australia, the spinners, a good spinner would always get support. It's only today that Akshar Patel couldn't bowl his overs because the game got shortened, and the captain fortunately had the luxury of Pandya in his side, whom he could give the ball, throw the ball up to. So I don't think really that you need to change a lot, but yes, in place of Dinesh Karthik, you could get Rishabh Pant. That's a major change I feel you should make. This team will become stronger.
Yeah. Kamlesh Bhatt is calling us from Rajkot. Kamlesh, go ahead.
Hello?
Yes, Kamlesh, can you hear me? Go ahead.
Yeah, I can hear you, madam. First of all, I would like to give my regards to Mr. Maninder Singh, who I was a very good fan of in those years of 80s, late 80s. When he was a leg spinner and he was bowling with Ravi Shastri. I'm 53 years old, sir. I really like your bowling.
Thank you.
Okay, sir. Secondly, the point is that this was a fantastic win, Shivani ji. It was a fantastic win for India, but at the same time, we should not forget, I'm seeing on the screen that is India on the track. I still don't think that India is definitely 100% on the track because as Maninder sir said, there are a couple of changes which can be made, especially Dinesh Karthik is not performing well, and even Rohit Sharma at the top. After the 4 innings he has played, he has just managed to click in 1 innings, and that was also against the Netherlands. So if the captain is not clicking, then definitely, and we have got very strong teams like New Zealand, who is playing very good, and England also is playing very good. So everything is not very good for India still.
Okay, fair enough.
It was a fantastic win. Yeah.
I think you have a point.
Yeah.
It's not like everything is working for India. It's not like all the boxes have been ticked. There are issues. One with the balance of the side, which we keep talking about from day one. And then, of course, there have been opening hiccups. Over and above that, Manipaji, do you think there are other concerns as well? Like one viewer raised over the bowling lineup as well, at least the bowling combination.
See, I don't think there's much going wrong as far as the Indian team is concerned. It's just the openers and it's just the captain. If he starts getting runs, forget about the wicketkeeper. I think we've spoken enough about it, that Rishabh Pant should be playing. But I think it's the captain who's got to take that responsibility that he's going to, because he's somebody, if he stays at the wicket for some time, he can accelerate any time. And, you do need time to, gauge the pace and the bounce of the pitch before you start playing shots because, he's stepping out, Rohit Sharma stepping out and trying to hit the ball. But on these surfaces, the ball is going to come quick onto you. So if you if you stand in your crease and try and deliver, probably it'll be more effective. So he's got to do his homework. You've got the batting coach. If they start thinking that it's Rohit Sharma, he scored so many international runs, we don't need to tell him anything, he knows his job. Sometimes you don't, and especially when you're not getting the runs, then somebody needs to go up to him. And I think the best person that can go up to him and speak to him is Rahul Dravid. And then Rohit Sharma can go up to even Surya Kumar Yadav, who's doing pretty well and, adjusting pretty well to these conditions which he is not used to, whereas Rohit has played a lot of cricket in Australia. And he could even go to Virat Kohli. That what does he do? The way Virat Kohli has come back after being criticized for so long, you can take help. Do you think
something like that truly happens, Manipaji? That, the two top dogs of the team, batting-wise, Rohit is captain, Virat is former captain, and, they are the two top dogs of the team, right? Do you think they share notes in that detail about each other's batting or the troubles they're having?
They should. Because if they're both doing well, fine. If you're not, you shouldn't shy away from taking anybody's help or talking to anybody or asking them, what do they do? How do they go about it? Because, Virat Kohli is a perfect example. He's played with the Sachin Tendulkars, the Rahul Dravids, Gautam Gambhir, Virendra Sehwag. And I am sure, has spoken to everybody because look at his discipline. I mean, amazing. Amazing the way he comes back, the way he's come back in this World Cup. Amazing way, he's handled himself in international cricket because when he was 19, 20, when he came into international cricket, he was not all that good or he wasn't scoring big runs. He was getting good 20s and 30s but not making them big. But I'm sure he's spoken to all these boys, and even if he's not spoken to them, he has seen their work ethics and learned from that. So even if you don't speak to each other, you sometimes observe what the other person is doing and why is he getting so many runs, what does he do before he goes into bat, what kind of things can I pick up from there. Okay. So it doesn't matter whether you're senior or junior, you've got to learn from each other.
Okay, let me just take one more caller. Krishnamurthy is calling us from Ooty. Go ahead if you can hear me.
Yeah, I can hear you, madam.
Yeah.
Yeah. Good evening, Maninder ji.
Good evening.
Very happy talking to you.
Nice talking to you as well.
Yeah, I have been observing Virat Kohli for more than 10 years now.
Yeah.
Yeah, I have observed whenever he has left the bouncers in the beginning, he has gone on to, score big in all the matches.
Okay.
Especially crunch matches. What is your opinion?
Yeah, that's a very good observation. Actually, I feel about a couple of years ago, Virat Kohli was trying to hit every ball, in T20 cricket especially. And that is why he wasn't getting big runs. But, I think he's realized as he's grown older, with his experience, he's realized that even 120 balls are a lot of balls to face in T20 cricket. And when he comes on to bat, he still has a lot of time on hand. And that is why we are seeing the Virat Kohli we are seeing at the minute. Probably those failures have also helped. He's realized from these failures that, if he stays at the wicket, he can accelerate later. And probably the team management has also given him that leeway, that job, that you stay at the wicket till the end, like what he's doing. And, the biggest advantage he's got is at number 4. He's got Suryakumar Yadav, who's been scoring at almost 200, at a strike rate of 200, which helps Virat Kohli a lot.
I think that number 3, number 4 partnership is working really well for India. It's making the difference for India. Yeah. I have to leave it at that. A big thanks to all of our callers for calling in, to Deep and Maninder Paji as well. I leave you with a few fan voices from Adelaide after India's thrilling win, which keeps us very much on track to the title. Thanks a lot for watching.
It was really good match and we win again.
भाई अर्शदीप झोटा झोटा खोलता खोलता अर्शदीप झोटा
जिंदाबाद विराट कोहली जिंदाबाद अर्शदीप जिंदाबाद भारत माता की
जय वंदे मातरम वंदे मातरम वंदे मातरम वंदे मातरम
Did you enjoy the match?
Yes, sir. India, beautiful. India ने जो खेला आज, अर्शदीप की bowling, one of the best, beautiful bowling की अर्शदीप. We're gonna see you in Melbourne final. You're gonna love it and you're gonna kill it. India, we're gonna win it.
कैसा लगा मुकाबला आज का?
बहुत बढ़िया लगा। बहुत इंटेंस मैच था। ऐसा लग ही नहीं रहा था कि काफी टाइम तक की जीत पाएंगे। बट एट द एंड द बॉलिंग, अर्श की बॉलिंग एंड पूरा सपोर्ट बहुत बढ़िया। कुछ उम्मीद नहीं होती।
इंडिया जीत गया।
कौन सा बैट्समैन अच्छा खेला आज?
सारे बैट्समैन बढ़िया खेले। कोहली, केएल राहुल आर द बेस्ट और विराट कोहली ही किंग है। केएल राहुल भी द बेस्ट था।
शिवानी, आई होप आप सुन पा रही हो मुझे, क्योंकि मुझे आपकी आवाज नहीं आ पा रही, क्योंकि आज शोर बहुत ज्यादा है, लाउड बहुत ज्यादा है और एवरीवन एंजॉय। कैसा लगा मैच? डिड यू एंजॉय द मैच? नहीं, बहुत अच्छा हुआ शिवानी, सबने एंजॉय किया, मैंने भी बहुत सारा एंजॉय किया पाजी, मजा आ गया पाजी। हर कोई जश्न मना रहा, लग नहीं रहा कि ये एडिलेड है शिवानी। हम एंजॉय कर रहे हैं इंडिया की तरक्की की, हर जगह इंडिया इंडिया है, जीतेगा इंडिया का नारा है, फैंस हैं, एक्साइटेड है शिवानी।
भाई बहुत खुशी है कि हमने जो मैच है वो जीत लिया है। हम पूरे कॉन्फिडेंस के साथ आए थे कि ये जीतेंगे।
उसमें सबकी धड़कनें रुकी हुई थी शिवानी, सबकी धड़कनें रुकी हुई थी, लेकिन हर कोई यकीन था कि अच्छा होगा। हमें बस एक विकेट, क्योंकि हमें पता है बांग्लादेश एक बार गिरना शुरू हुआ तो लगातार उसके विकेट फॉल होने शुरू हो जाते हैं और वो बस रन आउट से शुरू हुआ।
लास्ट ओवर में बहुत प्रेशर होता है जी, अर्शदीप के पास बहुत प्रेशर था, पर टीम इंडिया का बहुत सहयोग रहा, सब भाइयों को बहुत
प्रदर्शन अर्शप्रीत का रहा है। बहुत बढ़िया प्रदर्शन था अर्शप्रीत का भाई, जो विकेट ली उसने भाई ने बहुत बढ़िया।